Close my eyes, let the whole thing pass me by. Please don't. Okay. Are you guys ready to do this? So I'm excited to talk to you guys tonight. I got you all muted because, like you guys probably know, when you get everybody on here, it's like echoing. It sounds like alien sounds, and it's hard to understand. So I just muted everybody. This call, I'm going to be like, I'll do a lot of talking, I guess. But if anybody has questions, or as we're going through things, you have a comment or want to ask something, just raise your hand or unmute yourself, and feel free to stop me, and we'll go there. I have only 40 minutes, which is weird for me because I usually can't stop talking once I get going. So I have somewhere to be with my wife and the kids at the church in 40 minutes. So we're going to make this quick and to the point today. So I'm excited to talk with you guys. I'm not going to go through the whole thing about my story too much because I know many of you guys have heard that. And if you haven't, it's like on every team call I've ever done in the beginning. So I won't touch completely on that, but I'll just let you know a little bit about Jennifer's in my story, so you guys can understand how we got started together, and understand us just a little bit. So Jennifer and I don't know if she shared this part about us before, but before we became coaches, we were absolutely in love with the workout programs. Like, I found Jennifer before I became a coach because she was doing P90X and excited about it and blogging about it. And then, in Tennessee, and I'm in Idaho, doing P90X and blogging about it and talking about it on Facebook. And so we got connected via social media in that way. So we both absolutely loved the program, loved Beachbody, the workouts. But here's the thing I want you guys to understand. We have the most awesome, coolest, awesome team. And you guys know that, being a part of the Fit4lyfe family. But Jennifer and I, we did not think very highly of Beachbody when we started, because there was a bunch of coaches that were trying to sell us products that knew nothing about us. Like, we already loved the workouts. You didn't need to sell us anything. You needed to find out about us and about the vision of our lives and what we wanted. So we actually we didn't enjoy Beachbody coaches at all, but we had very minimal experience with it. We didn't know the corporate end. All we knew is that some people were trying to sell us some Shakeology, right? And we already were eating clean, doing workouts, and super pumped about the workouts. So just so you guys know, I started my fitness journey in May of 2010. And it was one day I was sitting on my couch, and Gabby had just barely started working out because we had a neighbor, a guy that was very fit that lived near us, came to our house. We didn't know who he was, just introducing himself, and he was fit. So we asked him for some advice, and I didn't get started right away. I wanted to. I asked him how to. I didn't get started right away, but Gabby started doing workouts. She started running, and she started it's funny. She did this workout. I haven't told this part of the story for a long time, but she worked out, and then she was like running up and down the stairs. And this is like, she has a couple kids at that time, and I'm just a guy that's working. Like, I don't have the excuse of going through having babies and all that stuff. But I'm sitting there, and I was tired watching her run up and down the stairs. And that was like the moment when I was like, okay, this is enough. Like, I got to get started. So that guy that introduced us to fitness that I've mentioned before, I asked him what I should do, and he just told me that I should do P90X. First, he invited me to go to the gym with him, but he goes to the gym at 6, and I went to work at 5:30, so it just didn't work for me to go to the gym. So I did P90X. And get this, guys, he wasn't a coach. He just said, you should do P90X. It works. So I did P90X 100%. I went from 187 pounds to 145. And it got me off of using Rockstar energy drinks, which I had 2 a day. Got me off of eating breakfast burritos every day that were like massive. Sometimes we still go get one, and I can barely eat it when I split it in half with Gabby now. So I don't know how I drank 2 Rockstars, all that liquid, and a whole burrito back in the day, but it happened. It went down like that. So a lot of things have changed. And those were, I stopped those unhealthy habits and started working out, feeling extremely awesome about my results. And I got a ton of confidence in myself. I've always been a shy person that had a lot of self-esteem issues growing up. So I was like feeling confident in just talking about it and sharing it with people, and people were starting it. my friends were starting P90X because I was telling them about it. And get this, guys, remember, I wasn't a coach yet. So during this time, I meet Jennifer online on Facebook. And at the same time, Michael's like, who's this creepy guy with the abs talking to you on Facebook? So he wasn't very supportive in the beginning. You guys know that part. I just really loved helping people and connecting with people that were doing the workouts. I see some of you guys laughing there. I wish I could hear you. But we decided to form a group and just help people. We were helping people with a Facebook, kind of like a challenge group, but nobody bought anything from us. And it was fun. We did little fun challenges. I remember we did like push-up challenges. We did I remember like on 9/11, we did 911 push-ups. Some people did like 911 sit-ups. We were just doing fun fitness-related activities, and we had a blast with it. So I reached out to Lindsay. I found her on YouTube, by the way. My coach, Lindsay Matway, your guys' upline. And she's like, Scotty, you have great results. You should be a Beachbody coach. And that's like the first key of a successful coach. The first tip is just to invite people and share with people. She invited me to be a coach. Hey, you should be a coach. Honestly, it wasn't the time for me. I had this little bit of a bad taste about Beachbody coaches in my mouth from everybody sending me private messages that were copy and pasted. They were like, hey, you have great results. I want to set up a phone call, a 3-way call with my upline coach, and we could talk about you becoming a coach. And I was like, what the heck are you even talking about? I had no idea what they're talking about. And the thing that threw me off about it is that I probably got 30 messages similar to that, and some of them were copy and pasted, exactly scripted messages, exactly the same from one person and the next, the same thing. So I was just like, nah. But I reached out to Lindsay because I was curious about it, and I told her no, I wasn't going to do it. And it took me, guys, it took her 3 phone calls with me. I believe it was 3 phone calls, and it took 8 months for me to decide to become a coach. So. And I want you guys to know another thing about Lindsay, and another thing that I'm going to teach you guys today, a little bit about confidence and being grateful for everything you have and focusing on the good things in your business and in your life. Those are things I'm going to touch on mostly today. But the thing about Lindsay that I want you guys to understand is, yes, she's been a top 10 coach for 4 years in a row. But guys, when I reached out to her and asked about coaching, I reached out because I saw her consistency on Facebook and who she was. She was sharing about her life, her fiance, her baby, and it wasn't salesy. And so I reached out to her, and honestly, the way that she carried herself on Facebook, I thought she was the first person to ever sign up as a coach with Beachbody. I thought she was the most successful person that Beachbody had. And guys, she was a coach for 3 months when I reached out to her that first time. She was a brand new coach, 3 months into the business. And she boldly invited me as if she was the top coach in the company. She said, hey, this is what we stand for. This is what we're doing. I think you'd be a great member of our team. And I just told her no. But it was then, 8 months later when I became a coach, which was her year mark. So she started exactly a year before me. But I want you guys to know the important part of your daily activity is inviting people. Because what if she wouldn't have ever invited me when I talked to her? Or what if, and one thing I'm going to talk about consistency, and that you can see in many of the top coaches in your team and in Jennifer and I, is that we're always there and we're always doing the vital behaviors of inviting people. And even if things don't look good that month or that day, we focus on the good and we continue doing it. And I want you to think about this, the impact, the small impact, not small, it's a big impact now. But what would have happened if Lindsay, this brand new coach at 3 months, gets this really great prospect, Scotty, that has a phenomenal transformation with P90X, absolutely loves it, and she's super excited, and she's like, Scotty, you should be a coach. And then I just tell her, no, not for me. What if she would have thought at that moment, maybe I'm not cut out for this. Maybe Beachbody's not my thing. This guy, how am I going to get people to do coaching with me that still have to go through a transformation? How is this ever going to work? When she has this guy that has this awesome transformation, has a blog about P90X and healthy eating, and he even tells her no. Think about the impact it would have made if she would have had that thought, maybe I'm not cut out for this. This guy won't even join my team, and he already loves the workouts. Could I even get anybody serious about this? And here's the thing, if like I said, when I signed up, I was ready. She didn't beg me to. She didn't convince me to. I called her from my office at work and said, I'm ready to sign up today. When that day came, it was me. I decided that. But the reason I did is because I watched what she did. I watched her grow as a person. I watched her consistency. And over that time, because in the beginning, I thought I couldn't do what she's doing. I don't think I could be like that. So it was like fear that I had. But watching her do the activity, I said, I can emulate that. I see what she does on Facebook. I see what she's doing with her YouTube videos. That's something that I can emulate. So that helped me overcome the fears, seeing what she did, seeing her consistency. And the bottom line of it is I trusted in her because I saw her there, still as excited about it those 8 months later as she was that day she invited me when I first reached out to her. She was still just as excited, but had grown as a person. I'd seen that growth happen. I'd seen her change in the way her posts had changed over the years. So it's so important to stay firm in your activity and continue to grow as a person, because that builds trust long-term with people where they want to be a part of your team. And you got to realize that everything you do right now is going to pay you back in the future. I invited Jennifer to sign up as a coach right when I signed up. Of course, I'm like, Jennifer, I'm a coach finally. And, and she's probably in her mind, she's like, I thought we weren't going to do that. We have a group for anti-Beachbody coaches, people. And so I reached out to her, and she didn't sign up right then. It took her some time and some exploring and asking. I know she talked to some of her friends and kind of tested the waters to see if anybody would be interested in doing this with her. And the day she signed up was actually when Sandy Tochi said, that she was interested in coaching. So Jennifer wanted to do this with her first team member, Sandy. So it's so important to stay consistent and faithful in what you decided to do when you started as a coach. And so many people want the key to success, or how this happened, over, the course of the time that it happened in. And honestly, it's because we truly decided, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I stand for as a coach, and I'm going to help as many people as possible. And then just staying faithful in that activity, no matter what the result was that day, no matter how many no's we got, no matter how many friends blocked us, no matter how many neighbors gossiped about what we were doing. You have all of those things, but you have to decide and know what you're going to do, and then just stay consistent with it and work hard on it every day and improving yourself and growing as a person. So think about that one thing. If Lindsay would have disappeared, I would have probably lost faith that I could have ever been a coach as well. Thinking that Lindsay was a top coach, and then she it would have been hard.
That was the price, and I paid it. And so just
there we go. So, if she would have, let's say, stopped coaching or quit, and I had never joined, we wouldn't have the downline team that we have, and all you guys wouldn't be here today. And that's 23,000 people to date that their lives are changing. And that could have never happened if she would have quit, and I would have lost faith as well because of seeing her stop doing it. So I don't know why people keep getting unmuted. Let me try to get all of them. There we go. But that's my story and how I got started. I decided, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to stand for, and I'm going to do this. And I'm going to show you guys just one brief thing real quick before I'm going to go through an exercise with you guys to teach you a little bit about me and how I stay focused and excited every single day. But as you guys might have heard, we've been recording team calls because I don't have the presenter anymore. I want to share this with you guys because it's all about you as a person in a Beachbody journey is growing every single day, becoming a better person so that you can plant those seeds of growth in other people. It's much more than just selling a challenge pack, selling somebody Shakeology, getting them on Beachbody Demand. But I'll just put the audio on this 1 second just so you can hear it. This is me as a coach, even 9 months into the business. I had hit Success Club 10 for 9 months in a row. That's the one goal I decided I was never going to miss when I started as a coach. I was going to do whatever it took to be able to hit that goal. And I'm going to show you guys just a little bit of what I sounded like as a brand new coach to show you guys that Jennifer and I truly were really quiet and really shy people when we started this journey. I'll see if I can hear it right here. So I know it's really quiet, so I'll be quiet and see if you can hear it.
Getting a little bit louder because we're pretty quiet. But I appreciate Lindsay as my coach, and that's the first thing I'll share a little bit about. What I feel your sponsor coach is their job is for you to help you on your journey. And the main thing I can see a coach.
I mean, I don't know if you guys could get my little message I want to share with you about that, but that's me on a team call after 9 months of a coach, hitting Success Club 10 every month. So still very quiet, still very much stumbling over my words. I can hardly even explain what a sponsor coach is and does for somebody, what that even means as I was teaching on a call for Lindsay. So I want you I just wanted to give you that little clip to show you that, yes, Jennifer and I both, we were very much just normal people and actually very shy and not very, good at speaking what we thought and the message that we want to deliver. So it takes time. Being a Beachbody coach takes time. And that's why the 3 vital behaviors, most importantly, the personal development is so important, because you've got to grow as a person. You've got to learn how to communicate what your message is. You've got to learn how to connect with people, most importantly. That's the most important part of this business, is to connect with people, find out what they want, and then offer them a solution, which is a challenge pack, and signing them up as a coach or a customer, giving them the tools for them to achieve their goals. And so you have to learn those skills, how to communicate with people, how to communicate your message, how to connect with somebody, how to share somebody else's story to, maybe I have John who can relate to Bill. Maybe I can't relate to Bill, but as I'm listening and asking Bill questions, maybe he relates to John. So I can share things about John's story to connect with Bill and help Bill believe that he could make changes in his life as well with the tools that I'm going to give him as a coach. So it's all about learning to connect with like that in doing your personal growth every single day. So I wanted to just share that little clip with you guys to show you that, I was very shy. I was very quiet, not very well spoken in the beginning, not very animated at all. Like I literally, even today, I have to focus on expressing myself so it's not boring, so I don't bore people. And I have to do that when I'm on the phone with a prospect. When you learn, and I didn't know those things before, but it was from reading books and connecting, I remember one book that really helped me. I can't even remember what it was called. It was something about art of public speaking, I think it was. And it was talking about, you have to emulate and mirror people's behaviors in their actions. Like if they're doing things, you model what they're doing. So if I'm talking to Nicole, I'm not going to copy her exactly, but if she smiles, I'm going to emulate her smile or her body movements, because you can create a connection that way. So all those things I didn't know before, but you have to learn those things, because this business is not about, it's about sales and transferring of products, yes, but it's about connecting with people and building those relationships with people. So the one thing I want to teach you guys today, after that fairly long introduction, and we still have time, so is, after connecting with Jennifer and I, and how we started, Jennifer is where she's at. Jennifer and Michael have an incredible business, and I'll tell you guys are very blessed and fortunate to have them as your leaders, because I don't think I know many other coaches in this company that are servant leaders like your guys' upline. So you guys are very, very blessed in that matter. I know they give everything they have to you guys, and even to coaches on my team that don't even benefit them. That's what kind of leader you guys have. So recognize that, in them and in your team. But I want to share with you guys a thing about me. So I've been doing this now for close to 4 years. So how do you stay excited every single day? Because this is about staying excited about your purpose and what you do as a coach long term. Because, just like I shared with Lindsay in my story, if she would have lost her excitement or enthusiasm 3 months after I talked to her, we wouldn't be a part of her team, or I may have never joined, right? So how do you keep that enthusiasm, that excitement long term, even when things aren't going so well? And I'm going to teach you a little bit about what I do and how I stay connected to that. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, just because on the outside you see my pictures with the kids, You see my YouTube videos. I'm excited. I'm like pumped up. I'm teaching things about my personal development, teaching things to coaches. But guys, like this month was a shitty month. I'm going to tell you, February was hard. Like I broke my collarbone. I'll show you this doctor bill right here. $21,380 for my surgery, right? That's from my Blue Cross statement. You know, so a crappy month. I broke my collarbone. Michael took me to my surgery, and the doctor thought we were domestic partners. He was like telling him how to bathe me and all that stuff. I got him laughing over there. But it was a hard month. You know, I got injured. You know, I'd set a goal, just barely had signed up to be in the Body Beast Classic at Nashville to compete. The day that I broke my collarbone was the first day I hit 175 in my journey with Body Beast. I'd struggled at like 172, 173 for so long. I hit 175, and then I got injured. I dropped all the way down to 166, you know, because I was on pain meds for 3 weeks. And then I haven't been able to work out. So unfortunately, sometimes when you don't work out, you don't eat good. And so I have no abs right now. Absolutely not. I got a new before picture, and I know Mike's going to be proud of me for having a new before picture to work on. But like I had that happen. I was on pain meds. Guys, before Mike even came, they're coming. And Mike and Jen, this is not your fault, but I wanted to we loved the hot tub. And you guys that went to the retreat and Gatlinburg know that we like the hot tub. So I go out to fill the hot tub, and I burst my pipe and I flood my basement. So now I got guests coming. I got the restoration team in my house. It's flooded. So I'm telling you guys, we had a bad month. Broken bones. I'm sleeping half the day on pain meds. I'm losing all my weight I worked for. I have my basement flooded. And there was one other thing, but I can't remember. Oh, and I had a precancerous spot on my face. I got burned off like a week or two ago. So a lot of weird crap going on in our life. But you guys see me doing the same thing on Beachbody. I'm writing inspiring posts. I'm reading my personal development. I'm inviting people. And I'll tell you guys, I had my very most successful month I've ever had as a Beachbody coach in February, even with all of that stuff. And so many times I see people, something comes up and they quit working or they stop the activity. They're like, oh, things are hard right now. You know, I really got to get this under control. And they stop working, and you lose all that momentum. Guys, you should use your, like Lindsay says, use your mess and make it your message. Like when you're struggling and you share how you're struggling, but you're overcoming it with Beachbody, with your personal development, with your workouts, that's what inspires people. That's where people are like, man, if they can do it like that, then, you know, I have no excuses. So use your story and things that are going on in your life to inspire people instead of to use it as an excuse. So that's one thing I don't stand for ever is no excuses. There's no excuses on why you can't build a Team Beachbody or business, or even stay, I guess, just committed in the daily activities, even if they're minimal right now. You know, even if it's just 2 hours a day or an hour and a half a day, there's no reason. I don't take excuses on why anybody can't do that. So that's one thing about me is I've just decided that. It was something instilled in me from my parents, is that when you decide something, you don't quit. You know, like quitting is not in my nature. It's you do something and you do the best you can at it every single day, and you improve yourself if you're not doing so well. You know, if something's wrong, then figure out what's wrong and then improve that aspect of your life. You know, so many times I see people say, hey, what book should I read? And it's not the same for everybody. What you need to do is find out where your struggles are as a Beachbody coach or as a person, and then that's the type of book you should be reading to increase that part of your life. Because if your life is right, your Beachbody business will be successful. If your life's a mess, then your Beachbody business is going to be a mess. So I'm going to teach you guys a little activity. I was reading this study in a book. It's called The 7 Levels of Intimacy. And I mean, it's basically it's called The Art of Loving and the Joy of Being Loved. 7 Levels of Intimacy. I mean, it's mostly for couples and for family, but really intimacy is not what we all think it is. Intimacy is having a deep connection with a person, with an individual. And when you can have that type of connection with people, that's when you have trust and they trust in what you're doing, and they follow what you say, and they do the things that you're teaching them when you have that type of trust. So in this study, there was this professor, and he was talking about every class each year. He had about 30 students in his class, and he did an assignment with them. He wanted them to go 24 hours. And I want you guys to do this assignment. So if you don't have a notebook, grab a piece of paper right now, because I'm going to have 3 things for you guys to do to take away from this call. And they're things that I focus on in my life every single day. And Gabby will be the first to tell you that. Like when the house flooded, it's, for her and for most people, it's like, this is the end of the world. Like, why did this happen? This sucks so bad. And I'm like, whatever. We're not living in a box under the bridge down by the highway, right? Life's pretty good. It's okay that the house flooded. We'll make it through. We're not dying. Our kids are healthy. So I always have this ability to focus on what's going good instead of the things that are going bad in life. And that's a huge key to success in life, not just as a Beachbody coach. So here's your activity. The activity that he had, I'm going to have you guys write this down. I want you to go 24 hours without making one complaint. One complaint at all. Not one small complaint about anything. That's your first assignment. And tomorrow, I want you to reach out to me or to Mike and Jen or your upline coach and let them know, right? You got to take a pen and notebook with you everywhere you go. And every time you have a complaint, you got to write down what it was. I want you to do that, to notice and recognize how many times you possibly might be doing this. And I'm going to give you guys an idea. Raise your hand right now. Did any of you guys have a small complaint in your head when you realized you had to take a notepad and paper around with you all day tomorrow? Raise your hand if you complained inside your head, like, oh, that's going to be hard, right? Because every one of us said that almost. So that's your first assignment. And here's the cool thing. This teacher was a teacher for 23 years. And out of 70,000 students over 23 years, he only found 4 people that had 0 complaints out of 70,000 people. So we are naturally complainers. We complain about everything that's going on in our life. The smallest things, subconsciously, we're always thinking about these things. So that's the first thing. So the next assignment is going to be for you guys to do after this assignment, where you can really identify things in your life that are good, that are going to help you stop complaining and be thankful for the things in your life that you do have. And when you start to do that, you're going to have more better things come into your life. So the thing that we're going to do is you have to write this down. You're going to have a piece of paper, right? Let's say like this. And you're going to write at the top, you're going to write, I'm thankful for. So write that right now so you know what you're going to do. I'm thankful for, and you're going to have 3 columns, 3 vertical columns. First one's going to be things. The next one's going to be people. And the third one's going to be other. So let me check the time. Okay, I got 10 minutes. We got things, people, and then other. So I'm going to let you guys write that down real quick. So you're going to fill that out. So things, obviously, anything that you have in your life, your house, any of that stuff. People, loved ones, it could be your spouse, your kids, your parents, your grandparents, friends, your great upline coaches, your sponsor coach, people that you're grateful for, thankful for. And the other column is going to be things, this list is, hopefully this list grows really, really big as you really sit down and focus on this and think about it. This could be things like freedom. Other things could be freedom, opportunities, friendship, intelligence, love, peace, happiness, health, all types of things could be for other. So you're going to create this list. And then the next thing you're going to do, part 3 of this assignment that you're going to do with this list is you're going to read that list 4 times in the next 24 hours. So you're going to read it before after lunch, before after dinner, before you go to bed, and then first thing when you wake up. You're going to read these things that you're thankful for. So what this is going to do is going to help shift your mind from being focused on the things in the first part of the activity, things that you complain about, and start focusing on the things that you're thankful for. And the biggest thing that I teach my coaches and my team, and I try to be a living example of, is what you focus on right now. The good things that you focus on, when you focus on the good things in your life improves considerably. And the thing about Beachbody is when your life improves considerably, your business also improves considerably, because the basic steps for Beachbody are so simple. You don't need Mike or Jen or I to build a Beachbody business, to know how to. That's all in the Coach Training Academy, the weekly national wake-up calls, the bajillion YouTube videos that Jennifer has, I have, all the top coaches have. It's all there. All that stuff is there. You just got to be willing to go use it. So the difference maker between the successful coaches and those that aren't successful is they've truly decided that this is what they want to do. This is the number of people they want to help every month. And then they focus on what they're thankful for, grateful for, and focus on the things that they want every single month versus the things that are going bad, the things that aren't going so well. And the funny thing is, like, the most successful month that, like I said, last month was the most successful month. We sponsored more coaches than we've ever sponsored before. You know, we had more challenge packs. We had, you know, it was the team cup as well. But I had more Success Club points than I've ever had in my business and Gabby's in my entire Beachbody career in 4 years. And it was during the hardest month of my 4 years. But the reason why is because I do this activity that I'm talking about on focusing on what I'm thankful for and grateful for versus the things that are going bad. And because everything was going bad, I was focusing even more every day. I was praying harder. I was visualizing harder. I was listing all the things I was grateful for because this happened, the surgery happened, the basement flooded. So I was like more focused than ever on everything that was going good, so I wouldn't be down on myself on the things that had happened that were bad. So because I had that extra intense focus on the good things, we had the best month of our lives in that month. So what I want you guys to take away from this is, as you're building your business, if you stop complaining about what's going wrong and just stay focused on what you want and not worry so much about the outcome, but about the daily activity that you're doing, and with the excitement and the passion you're doing it, and with the right mindset that you have while doing it, things are going to drastically begin to change in your business and in your life. Not immediately. It's not going to happen right now or next month or the next. But as you stay consistent in that, it's going to compound. Just like Jennifer and Michael's business has compounded over the past 3.5 years, just like ours has. Because we've stayed focused on what we want and what our purpose is, what we want, our daily activity, and then let the result follow. So that's the one thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about today. Is I'm not saying any of you guys are complaining, but after you do this activity, the first part that I talked about in this activity you're going to do, if you catch yourself complaining, about anything, try to correct that behavior. And as you do that, that's what's going to attract people to you, because people don't. I want you guys right now, thumbs down if complaining people make you sick or you don't want to be around them, right? Boo. So you guys have to realize, each one of us has to realize that we've got to be that person ourselves. We've got to catch ourselves in that behavior we're doing in ourselves, and correct that in ourselves first before we can expect other people to make positive changes in their life. So my challenge to you guys going out of this is to do that activity, to really get clear on what you want in 2015. It's like a huge opportunity right now with the Beachbody On Demand, with Summit coming up. We want you guys all at Summit with us in Nashville. We want you guys there. So really decide what you want to achieve in the next 5-6 months until Summit, and really focus on what you want, and correct your behaviors every single day as a coach, so that you're someone that people want to follow, that people trust in, that people have faith in. And that's really what leadership is going to be in this company, is being that person that people can count on. Thumbs up if you guys know Jennifer and Michael will be here a year from now. And they'll be just as excited, right? Do you have any doubt that I'm going to be here just as excited in March of 2016? No doubt whatsoever. So that's what I want you guys to focus on in your own lives and your business, is to become that person, because that's what's going to attract people in your life as you begin to make these changes and stay focused on those simple activities that make a person successful in this business, those 3 vital behaviors. But just add that key element, believing that you're going to go there, putting in the hard work ethic every single day and treating it like a real business, and then focusing on what's good and what you want to happen versus the things that might be a little bit crappy in the moment. So I have 4 minutes. If anybody has any questions you want to ask me before I head out. And you can just unmute yourself if you do. If not, you can all just stare at me and I'll stare back.
Are we doing just verbal complaints, or are we writing down like every thought that crosses our mind as a complaint?
Every thought, because your subconscious and your thoughts are what direct your activity, your behaviors.
Okay.
So it's not if you complain out loud. Like literally, like when I asked you guys to do it for the next 24 hours, some of you might have said in your head, that's going to be hard. That's a complaint, right? And then when I asked you to take a pen and paper with you and actually write them down, some of you might have complained again. That's another complaint. Like even though it's in your head. So, okay. And the whole idea of that first part of that activity, that first part, is just to identify how much we really do that so that we can work on beginning to change that behavior and focus on the good things. The second part and the third part, where the second part where you write down, I am thankful for things, people, and then other. That's where you can identify the things that you're grateful for and that you can focus on. And then the next thing is to read that list, that I am grateful for, thankful for list, 4 times over the next 24 hours. And if you need to, do it every day. I have a list of things right here on my board that I look at every day and I read it before I start working. So that's your takeaway today as you guys head forward. So I just want to say I am proud that you guys are a part of our team. I'm proud of each one of you guys as leaders that are on here, and each of you guys as brand new coaches for being a part of this company, because this is exactly where you're supposed to be right now. So I love you guys. And
thanks, Scotty. Thanks so much for coming on here tonight. One thing, that's funny, Nicole. One thing I was thinking about when you mentioned how you were on a team call after only being a coach for 9 months. I never really thought about that, but I think, for you guys that are on tonight's call, that's something I want you guys to think about, because that was a big step out of Scotty's comfort zone, but a big step forward in him developing himself as a leader for himself, like for his own personally sponsored coaches, as well as for Lindsay's team, Bombshell Dynasty. So a lot of you guys are, becoming leaders yourselves with your team, and maybe you haven't talked yet on the Fit Family Network team call. So that's something I would like for you guys to think about, and just realize that you may not feel like you're ready, or you may not feel like you have any value to offer, but I'm telling you that you do for sure, and that there's a ton of people that would love to hear from you and just hear your perspective on how you got started and what's working for you. My other quick takeaway is that Mike definitely cannot handle Zoom calls, because like watching what all of you guys are doing in your kitchens and stuff, he's like totally distracted. He's like, this person has a knife and this person isn't watching, and it's really funny. What was the other thing?
Nothing. I'm not talking to you.
Oh.
I think Caitlin has her Yoro cup.
Oh no.
I think she has her Gatlinburg cup. See, told you.
Oh.
I knew I saw it. See, told you.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The other thing was when you were talking about how, like, when bad things happen, you're just kind of like, oh, it is what it is. Let's just focus on what's good. I was like nodding the whole time, because that's totally how I am too. And it makes such a difference, because like you can let yourself like join the mush pot with everyone else and be miserable, or you can just take that as an opportunity to just focus on what is good and what's going right, and it's just so much better.
Guys, thank you, Scotty, for jumping on the call.
We appreciate you.
I mean, guys, remember when Scotty, he is a very, a lot of people don't have this close of a relationship with their uplines. I mean, it's got well beyond, like you said, we were friends with him before he started. I mean, but Scotty and Gabby, I mean, they're truly family to us. I mean, absolutely family. So, shameless Gatlinburg plug. He and she will be in Gatlinburg this December. They won't be staying the entire time, but they will be there. So someone asked when the retreat was with him. So come hang out with Scotty and Gabby and us in Gatlinburg. So thank you so much, Scotty. We'll see you in a couple weeks. Like I think 5 weeks. So you and your padded abs will be in the hot tub.
I can grab them.
All right, guys.
We'll see you guys later.
I love it. All right.
Send us the recording when you
Please.
upload it.
Yeah, I will. Okay,
Okay.
see you guys later.
All right, bye guys.